The crisp autumn air carried the scent of fallen leaves and distant wood smoke as Sarah walked through the familiar streets of her hometown. The sun hung low in the sky, casting a warm golden light on the trees that lined the narrow road. She hadn't been back in years, not since she left to escape the weight of her past. Yet here she was, her feet carrying her toward the one place she both longed for and feared, the old bridge. The small houses, each with their own unique charm, stood like silent witnesses to the memories that rushed back. Laughter, secrets shared, plans for a future that seemed so certain back then. Sarah's heart clenched as she approached the bridge at the edge of town. This was where she and Emily had spent so many afternoons as kids, legs dangling over the edge as they tossed pebbles into the river, making promises to be best friends forever. But forever had felt like a lifetime ago. Now, the bridge seemed like a symbol of everything that had gone wrong. She stopped at the start of the bridge, her fingers lightly brushing the wooden railing. The once rough wood was now smooth, worn down by time, just like their friendship. Sarah sighed, her breath visible in the cool air, wondering if she'd ever be able to let go of the hurt she carried. The sound of footsteps behind her pulled her from her thoughts. She froze, her heart racing, before slowly turning. Emily stood a few feet away, her green eyes filled with emotions that Sarah couldn't yet decipher. The years had changed them both, but Emily's expression, a mix of hope and fear, felt so familiar. "Sarah," Emily said softly, her voice tinged with hesitation. "I didn't expect to see you here." Sarah swallowed, her throat tight. "I guess I was drawn back to the old places. They hold so many memories." She glanced at the bridge and then back at Emily, unsure of how to feel after all this time. A part of her had always imagined this moment, but now that it was happening, she wasn't sure what to say. Emily took a few steps closer, her hands nervously playing with the edge of her jacket. "I've missed those days, and I've missed you." Her voice wavered. "I've thought about reaching out so many times, but I was afraid you wouldn't forgive me." Sarah let out a shaky breath. Forgiveness. The word felt heavy, as if it had been waiting for this moment for years. "I've missed you too, Emily," she admitted quietly. "And I think we both have things we need to forgive each other for." Emily's eyes shimmered with unshed tears as she met Sarah's gaze. "I'm sorry, Sarah, for everything. I've carried this guilt for so long, and I don't even know where to begin." Sarah stepped closer, feeling the weight of her own unspoken apologies. "I'm sorry too, Emily. I should have reached out sooner. I let my pride get in the way, and I let us drift apart. But maybe it's not too late." Emily blinked, a single tear escaping down her cheek. She quickly wiped it away, offering a small, fragile smile. "I hope it's not. I've thought about this moment for so long, but I wasn't sure if we could ever really get back to where we were." "We may not be able to go back," Sarah said softly, "but maybe we can move forward together." Emily looked down at the ground, her voice barely a whisper. "I never wanted to lose you, Sarah. You were my best friend, and I let you down." Sarah shook her head in disagreement. "We both let each other down, Emily, but we were young, and sometimes we make mistakes. I've been carrying this hurt for so long, and I'm tired of it. I don't want to hold on to the past anymore." Emily met her eyes again, hope flickering in her gaze. "Do you think we can really do that? Move past everything?" Sarah smiled, a small but genuine one this time. "I think we can try, one step at a time." She gestured to the bridge. "Starting here, maybe?" The two women stood there for a moment, the air between them heavy with the weight of years gone by, but also filled with the possibility of healing. Sarah took a deep breath and extended her hand. "Come on, let's cross it." Emily hesitated for a moment, her eyes locked on Sarah's hand. Then, with a deep breath of her own, she reached out and took it. Together, they walked across the bridge, each step a quiet act of forgiveness, a promise to try again. And with that, they took their first steps forward together. Sarah and Emily take a long walk, talking openly about the misunderstandings and hurt feelings that had driven them apart. Their conversation is raw, emotional, and cathartic, allowing both to release the pain they've held onto for years. By the end of the walk, they both realize that forgiveness is not just about absolving the other person, but also about freeing themselves from the burden of resentment. If you want to see and watch tales like this, please like and subscribe to this channel and let us explore all the learnings that entail in each story. Till next time, my friend, don't forget, always choose to be kind.